Well, hi everyone. Thank you for joining us today. Here I am in one of our training centres in London with a great friend and colleague of mine, Philip Grindell. And this is part of our Meet the Team series. And it has been my honour and my pleasure to have Philip not only as a great friend of mine, we've known each other for about 13 years now, and Philip is a very professional coach, has been for a long time. And Philip has worked with Noble Manhattan as part of our faculty, but he also has his own very successful coaching practice. So thank you, Philip, for joining us today.
My pleasure, as always, Gerald.
Now, what I'm finding really interesting, and I think our listeners will find interesting, is that you've been a coach for a number of years. You've coached men and women in all parts of the world, in all walks of life. But very recently, you've decided to pinpoint, to focus in on one particular area. What is that?
Self-belief.
Right.
What I found, Gerald, over the years was when coaching people, it came down to a number of different factors, and one of the common denominators for me was a lack of self-belief, a lack of belief in their own ability, in their own self-value and self-worth. And it seemed to me that was the common denominator in the clients I was attracting and the people I was working with, whether it was using coaching, NLP, or whatever I was using. It came down to that. So I decided that it's a subject I'm fascinated by. What makes us tick? What makes one person believe another person not? It's got nothing to do with competence. You know, some of the most competent people lack belief, and yet some of the most, incompetent people believe themselves to be amazing.
Yeah.
So it isn't about how your skills are necessarily. It's about what's inside you. And for me, it was a common denominator. So it was what drew me to that. And I thought it became a passion, frankly, about helping people to start to believe in themselves.
Wow. And the men and women you've worked with, are they from just one sector, or are they right across the board in all?
No, across the board. I mean, you and I have had discussions before, and there's a survey which about the Fortune 500 CEOs. They were asking in the survey what was the one greatest fear, and it was being found out. So, and these are the top performers. So whether you are, a mum returning to work, or a senior executive just being promoted, self-belief is the key issue. We often hear about sports people, footballers for instance, who suddenly stop performing. Now, their skills haven't gone, their ability is exactly the same, and they always say they're just lacking confidence, lacking self-belief. So it clearly is a magic formula to making someone or helping someone to perform at a great level. I heard this fantastic phrase last week which I loved, which was, when you lack self-belief, you talk yourself out of your own magic.
Really?
And I think that's so true.
It is.
We're all about internal conversations, and we've had lots of chats about how what you think, what you talk about internally, that you create your own world. So, many times we come up with an opportunity, or people come to our coaching workshops, and they leave full of passion. They're going to do it, and on the way home, they talk themselves out of things. I can't do that. I'm not good enough to do that. What have I got to offer? And this negative little voice, the little critic voice we've all got, starts coming up. The difference is, when you have self-belief, you can hear the voice occasionally, but you can overcome it, because you have the skills, the strategies, the tools to say, no, actually I can do this. And sometimes it's as simple as putting one foot in front of the other.
Wow. Now, I know, because you showed it to me last week, you've produced a wonderful, a simple check guide, a PDF, to help people, just a quick ready reference guide to help them with what have you called that?
The 10 tips for self-belief.
Right. Okay.
Yeah.
And is it okay if I put at the bottom of this video
Absolutely.
an email for you, so that if people can email you, will you send that?
Absolutely, of course I will. Delighted to.
Because I think that would be, I've read it, and it's wonderful. It's the 10 tips that will help you to get a really great understanding of how to build your own self-belief. So I'll put the link here on this message, and you can contact Philip, and he'd be delighted to send that to you.
Absolutely.
Thanks, my friend.
Thank
Thanks
you
for giving your time today.
Pleasure.
Appreciate it.